Good afternoon, everyone. New for you here at 4 in Oaks, North Dakota. Man has pleaded not guilty to 2 felony charges that involve having sex with a minor. Court records say in May 2021, Dickey County Human Services contacted the Oaks Police Department after a 17-year-old girl told a nurse practitioner about it. The girl said she had an ongoing sexual relationship with her boss, Hans Gruner, who she was also living with. She also told officers Gruner would make sexual comments toward her at work, which eventually escalated. But she said she was scared of moving back into her parents' home. She was taken into protective custody. Gruner faces felony charges of sexual imposition and corruption of a minor, as well as 1 misdemeanor. New information on a car chase in Grand Forks last night. Police have identified the suspect as 21-year-old Carly Litchi of Fargo. Officials tell us an officer saw someone drive through a closed construction zone on the city's north side shortly before midnight. They say Litchi led police on a chase through downtown and was eventually stopped by a pit maneuver. She was arrested for DUI, driving under suspension, fleeing, drug possession, and open container. A man is in jail after police say he attacked a guard at the Bismarck Airport with a knife. 34-year-old Christopher Fonseca is facing a charge of aggravated assault. According to officials, he was bothering passengers in the security line, then charged at an officer and hit him in the face and body with a weapon. They say airport employees and a bystander helped get the man into handcuffs. The police officer was cut but is expected to be okay. Aging facilities and controlling costs continue to be a challenge for the North Dakota State Hospital. The hospital is working to expand client work opportunities and remove obsolete structures. 3 buildings, they say, will be demolished at a cost of about $3.5 million. Hutch joins us now with a first look at your forecast. Hutch?
Stacy, thanks so much. What a day as temperatures soared into the 40s here in the Southern Valley. Really a taste of spring indeed. A few clouds moving along the northern tier, and in the international border area we do have a few showers showing up. The last time we hit 40 degrees was March 15th, and that was back on the in 2022. All in all, things are looking pretty good here as we head into the rest of our day. Take a look at these highs so far. 48 in Jamestown. Wow. And that white line, the freezing line, has been shoved all the way back up into Canada. Look at Detroit Lakes, 48 degrees there. Here's a look around the region. Current temperatures looking pretty toasty, especially out into the central part of the Dakotas where we have mid-60s. And here's a look at that radar. Some mixed precipitation up where we have that freezing line. So we are seeing that north Winnipeg. For us, a few sprinkles skirting along the international border. If those fall on cold road surfaces, we could have some slippery conditions. For Fargo tonight, temperatures will be steady, and even after sunset we remain in those mid-30s. On a cloudy evening overnight, we could see a chance of some rain in your forecast. I'll have details on that. Some could see some mixed precipitation as we hover right around the freezing mark. I'll have details on when and where, and we'll look ahead as well here in a moment.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch. Well, if it's not warm enough for you yet, take a trip to the cities. Saunas have become a trend in Minneapolis among groups who want a unique night out. Sauna villages offer a few experiences, including aromatherapy treatments, and there's even a mobile sauna truck. Saunapreneurs, as they call themselves, say the clientele is mostly young people seeking the health benefits of the traditional Finnish experience. In a unique show of bipartisanship, the Senate unanimously passed a measure that would make daylight saving time permanent across the country. That means the U.S. would no longer have to spring forward or fall back. The bill has bipartisan backing, including several enthusiastic Republican and Democratic co-sponsors.
But the good news is if we can get this passed, we don't have to keep doing this stupidity anymore. And why we would enshrine this in our laws and keep it for so long is beyond me. But hopefully this is the year that this gets done. And pardon the pun, but this is an idea whose time has come.
If passed by the House and signed by the President, the bill would go into effect in November 2023. Happening right now, an open house for people to learn about Highways 59 and 108 in Pelican Rapids, where major work is being planned. Engineers with the Minnesota Department of Transportation will be on hand to answer questions until 7 o'clock tonight. The 2-year project will address pavement concerns and traffic delays. Part of the plan is to build roundabouts at the intersections of Highway 59 and 108. The open house is happening at the Calvary Evangelical Free Church in Pelican Rapids. You can also watch videos of the project overview on our website, valleynewslive.com. Russian and Ukrainian delegates are meeting virtually for a fourth round of negotiations today as the battle on the ground is heating up. For 2 weeks now, Russia has encircled the city of Mariupol, and there's no way in or no way out for people, food, or supplies.
People are running out of water, electricity, gas for heating, access to medical services. The situation is really untenable, unbearable for civilians.
Despite ongoing attacks, the leaders of Poland, the Czech Republic, and Slovenia are making the dangerous crossing into Ukraine for a face-to-face meeting with President Zelensky. President Biden will travel to Europe next week for face-to-face talks with allies about how they can support Ukraine in its fight for freedom. And tomorrow, President Zelensky will make a direct appeal to Congress for more support from the U.S. when he speaks via video conference to House and Senate members. Now today, President Zelensky made his case to Canada in an address to Parliament in Ontario. Zelensky had an impassioned plea for Canadians to put themselves in the shoes of Ukrainians facing shelling and violence at the hands of Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Each city that they are marching through, they are taking down Ukrainian flags. Can you imagine someone taking down your Canadian flags in Montreal and other Canadian cities? I know that you all support Ukraine. We've been friends with you, Justin, but also I would like you to understand, and I would like you to feel this, what we feel every day.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and other leaders of the NATO military alliance have ruled out a no-fly zone in Ukraine despite repeated pleas from country leadership. Enforcing a no-fly zone would require a willingness to shoot Russian jets out of the sky, a red line that Trudeau and NATO leaders have warned could escalate into open conflict with nuclear-armed Russia. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has forced 3 million people to flee the country since the war began nearly 3 weeks ago. Families across Europe are opening their homes now to help. CBS's Tina Kraus reports from London.
Size of the room, we'd want people to sort of have as much space.
Natalie and her husband Stefan are turning their living room into a home for Ukrainian refugees.
It could happen to any of us, couldn't it? You just don't know what's around the corner.
They're among tens of thousands in Britain opening their doors.
We thought if we were in their shoes, we'd want someone to offer to give them somewhere to be safe.
The United Nations says 3 million people have left Ukraine since the Russian invasion. Most have crossed into Poland. Tanya says, I'm fleeing with my child, but I don't know where to run.
Refugees who make it here to the UK will be given a background check. Then they can work, children can go to school, and Britain's healthcare service will pay their medical bills.
This building belongs to a sanctioned oligarch.
These protesters want Russia's richest business people to pay too. Squatters seized this mansion in London, demanding refugees be allowed to move in. British officials say they're looking at legislation to do just that.
I want to explore an option which would allow us to use the homes and properties of sanctioned individuals.
We could completely clear this area out.
And for Brits like Natalie and Stefan who sign up to host refugees, the government will pay them $450 a month for their hospitality. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
The UN says 90% of Ukrainian refugees are women and children. Coming up, the melt is on.